I'm Teisha Bader with Shalom TV's news update for Tuesday, September the 9th, 2014. An IDF soldier was lightly wounded last night by a bullet from across the border with Syria. The soldier was evacuated to a hospital in northern Israel, and the IDF was investigating the incident. Over the last few weeks, errant mortar fire and artillery shells have landed in Israeli territory, with increased clashes between Syrian rebels and Bashar Assad's army, especially near the Quneitra border crossing between the Syrian-controlled and Israeli-controlled Golan Heights. A spokesman for the family of slain American-Israeli journalist Stephen Sotloff said they believe Sotloff was sold by Syrian rebels to the Islamic State, whose terrorists ultimately murdered him. Sotloff family spokesman Barak Barfi told CNN's Anderson Cooper last night that according to information they have learned from, quote, sources on the ground, the Jewish journalist was first captured by a Syrian rebel organization who sold him to ISIS for what they estimate to be between $25,000 and $50,000.
Somebody at the border crossing made a phone call to ISIS, and they set up a fake checkpoint with many people, and Steve and his people that he went in with could not escape.
Sotloff was beheaded by ISIS, who released a video last week showing his brutal execution. Israel and the United States conducted a joint test of the Arrow 2 interceptor missile. As you may have seen on IBA News, Israel's Defense Ministry said today that the test of the system, together with the U.S. Missile Defense Agency, was held at an Israeli test range over the Mediterranean. The anti-ballistic system is intended for use against long-range threats into Israel. It is primarily contracted by the Israel Aerospace Industries in conjunction with Boeing, as well as with ELTA and El-Isra. Jewish organizations across the spectrum are uniting behind a bipartisan resolution condemning all forms of anti-Semitism. The resolution was initiated by Democratic Representative Gerald Nadler of New York, Republican Pete Roskam of Illinois, Democrat Nita Lowey also of New York, and Republican Kay Granger of Texas. It was first introduced at the end of July, and in a letter sent at the end of last month, the resolution is now looking for co-sponsorship from colleagues at the House of Representatives. One of the main points the letter makes is noting the diverse and unusual range of Jewish organizations backing the resolution. Among them, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, or AIPAC, the Zionist Organization of America, and J Street. The resolution condemns anti-Semitism, particularly when it is used as an acceptable expression of disapproval or frustration over political events in the Middle East or elsewhere, and also condemns the comparison of Israel to Nazis perpetrating a Holocaust or genocide as an insult to the memory of those who perished in the Holocaust. It urges more education, both in the U.S. and in Europe, to combat anti-Semitism, as well as calling for adequate government laws to punish anti-Semitic violence and hate crimes. The American Jewish Committee signed an association agreement yesterday with the Jewish community of the Republic of Moldova. The signing took place in the capital of Chisinau at the end of a leadership delegation visit to the country, which borders Ukraine. The visit was led by AJC President Stanley Bergman and Executive Director David Harris. It included a ceremony at the Memorial for the Pogroms, which took place in the capital, then known as Kishinev, in 1903 and 1905. Harris said of the signing, "We attach particular importance to this partnership as AJC traces our very founding to the pogroms here." The agreements are part of the AJC's network of links to Jewish communities around the world, and the signing with Moldova's community is the 32nd such agreement that the AJC has signed with Jewish communities across the globe. Limud FSU is kicking off its Art and Learning Festival this week in Belarus. The three-day conference takes place in the hometown of renowned artist Marc Chagall at the Vitebsk National Museum of Fine Arts. It will feature lectures, workshops, roundtable discussions, music, and a wide range of cultural events, as well as a memorial and special photo exhibition honoring the late Israeli Prime Minister Ariel Sharon. That will take place at the National History Museum of Belarus in the capital city of Minsk, from where Sharon's parents immigrated from to Israel. The memorial for Israel's 11th Prime Minister will be held in collaboration with the government of Belarus, as well as with the Embassy of Israel and the local Jewish community. Sharon's son Gilad, as well as several people who served with the former Prime Minister, will attend. And turning now to our Shalom TV programming for tonight, Tuesday, September the 9th. Senior Vice President of the Shalem College in Jerusalem, Daniel Gordis, discusses his book about former Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin, called Menachem Begin, The Battle for Israel's Soul. That's from the Tikva Fund in New York City at 8 o'clock. And then Begin is remembered at 9 o'clock on L'chaim. That's all happening tonight on Shalom TV and shalomtv.com. And that's Shalom TV's news update for Tuesday, September the 9th, 2014. I'm Teisha Bader.